Yeah, hello and welcome to this video, which is a new part of this middle game strategy series where I solve a couple of, maybe two, yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, strategically focused positions and see what happens. I'm going to talk you through my thought process and yeah, going to put some lines on the board during my think to make it a little bit that it is easier to follow. So I'm going to use the GM prep positional playbook again and going to randomly generate a number. Oh, that's funny. We had 134 last time. Now I have 133. Can you see that? Yeah, 133. So I have to set this up. So size 133. Yeah, let's start edit. I don't know. I'm going to empty the board. 133. I maybe should have checked if I know the position. I actually do know the position. Ivan Shugana and Buenos Aires 1994. I know the position. So okay, I have to do a new generate. 70. See that? 70. You probably will believe me anyway, but I'm going to do it. Yeah, Ivan Shugana and Buenos Aires 1994. Look it up, it's a cool game. Yeah, that can happen. I know quite a bunch of positions. So number 70. No. Yeah, no, I don't know that position. So black to play. Orientation is black. Yes, yeah, it's important. Maybe I should to just set it up. It's easier to have this orientation. So let's set this up. I could actually pause the video while I do that. Yeah, that's not really exciting. Yeah, maybe some room for improvement, but I want to make it authentic. Yeah, that you don't think I'm pre-select stuff and so on. It's just that. No, black king. Yeah, black king on g8. Bishop here. Yes, I at least it's pretty easy to identify that we had that the knight or Sicilian was in play here. That you can see pretty quickly. Oh, come on. Rooks. Queen, white queen on a4. So I think this is the position. Yeah, but it is black to play and we should look at it from black. And I have the, yeah, I'd have it off. Yeah, and it's not exercise 133, but exercise 70. So yeah, I mean, you probably might as well just fast forward, yeah, next time. Okay, so this is the position. It's black to play, and what's that? Svidler Kayakin, yeah? Yeah, back in the day when Kayakin still played the Najdorf regularly instead of the Berlin. Okay, so it's, what do we have? Equal material, opposite sides castled. And our knight on f6 is attacked. The most obvious move would be just to move the knight. Probably you have to move it. I don't see a tactical idea. Queen d7 maybe. Queen d7. That would be an alternative to moving the knight, yeah, but I don't know if that is any good anyway. But just saying, that could be something else than the knight move. Is there any other candidate? No, not really. I cannot attack something. Also cannot threaten mate. No. No. So I probably have to move the knight or play this queen d7 move. I mean, this is a positional play exercise. Sometimes this helps, yeah. To know that there should be some kind of strategic part of this, that it's not just a pure calculation thing. Yeah, so what's going on here? Yeah, I think from a strategic point of view, I probably with black, I probably don't want to play an ending against the bishops on that open board. A6 is probably weak, a bit weak, yeah, in an ending at least. In the middle game, not so much, but in an ending. The middle game, it's always a question. You want to take a6 with the king on c1. So, yeah, the most natural move would be knight to d7, but I feel I don't quite get it. I mean, to h5. To h5 looks really really strange, and to e8, I mean, knight d7 looks extremely obvious. Is there something entirely different? There is this mate idea, of course, on c2, but I don't really get to distract the queen. Knight d7, kind of a what else? Or do I miss something in totally, like, do I miss a candidate? I mean, knight d5 blunders the thing, and knight d8, I really don't see the point. One thing about knight h5 could be to put it on f4 and initiate this trade where you get the bishop on e3, but knight h5, just bishop d3 and white. Well, maybe then d5. Yeah, knight h5 still looks strange. Is knight d7? What is this? Is there anything great? Against knight d7, there is potentially bishop h3, and then I would have to play rook d8, which also doesn't look great. Okay. Do I miss a candidate move altogether? I don't see it. I don't really see anything else than the knight moves. Maybe I'm too long here. I mean, sticking too long with this question if I miss candidate moves, but it's something that I think is really important to not calculate deeply. I mean, if you can, it's good, but I think it's important to make sure that you don't miss anything on the first one or two moves, something, a possibility that's really fundamental. So, okay, I have to move the knight. So, knight h5 looks wrong. I mean, it's also known, like in this position type, if you get to f4 and white takes it and takes with the queen on f4 and then puts the bishop on d3, that he's reasonably safe. Even though there might be counterplay against b2. That is actually a point. Maybe I get counterplay by means of playing against the b2 pawn, and knight h5 f4 isn't bad. Knight d7 I really dislike. I mean, it's extremely passive. Even a move like bishop d3 might be good, intending bishop e4. Yeah, because if I go like knight d7, I mean, I promised to move it. Yeah, here, yeah. Even this, yeah, sorry. I'm kind of used to not moving the pieces because that's my typical mode also in lessons, to not move it so that things get calculated for real, like it is in a normal game. Like here, yeah, you can maybe put this here, and this is a pretty dominating situation, even though this is a move now. This is actually a very sensible move, because there is this idea. Ah, this is actually an important resource. Even if this is played, knight c5, is that something takes? Bishop takes g5, that's probably not enough. That's definitely, you cannot give the exchange, but bishop d3, knight c5 is actually a point. So this is probably the critical move. And now knight c5, yeah, white can take, because this is just ultimately an exchange, and I don't think you have enough. That means that I need to play this, which is really, really, really passive. Even though I mean, I don't see how I'm losing immediately. Knight b6, no, knight b6, oh, it's queen a5. It's really sucks, this position. Even this is a good move strategically. Put the queen in the middle of the board. I don't know. Okay, knight d7 is really passive. Maybe I have to do that. Yeah, this knight h5 stuff, and then put it on f4. But knight to f4 will basically force him to take on f4. And then we got the opposite colored bishop scenario. So this is what I'm talking about. And now maybe this, intending to play queen to b7. If he attacks this, I'm just giving away the pawn. Like this. Like here, and then trying to play against this. Or in this particular case, this is also a move threatening here and here. If I get this pawn and put a bishop on f6, then I'm actually probably better. The bishop is so strong on that weakened king side. Yeah, I feel I have to go knight h5 in this position. Or is there something else entirely? A move like knight d8 that initially looks bad. Is that maybe not so bad? You know, this might be not that terrible. You can actually imagine that black is going to play the queen to b7, knight to c7, and then play d5. That's actually quite true. Let's not totally discard that, even though it looks bad. It's not so clear how white is going to keep a good control there. Maybe even this move. If white tries this, there's d5, and this doesn't look bad. Okay, I think knight d7 is too passive. Knight d8 is maybe better than it looks, even though you can just say, okay, well, white is just going for the kill here, right? This. Yeah, well, that is attacked. It is attacked. I don't know. I wanted to actually set an alarm clock to not look at this for too long. I don't really have a solution, right? This is not easy. With this kind of scenario, it's sometimes tough to say if they go. The bishop. I played with bishop h3. I think this is usually the better choice for bishop e4. Let's just say I do this. No, h4. Not h3. And then put the bishop here. That should be better for white. And this remains passive, even though I can go g6, bishop f8. My gut feeling says knight h5 to have knight f4, then potentially, you know, here you can maybe play this, and claim that the bishop on g7 will allow you to always defend. That is maybe true. My gut feeling is knight h5 and knight d7. I think, let me do that, make main line. Knight d7 I feel is that looks passive. It looks passive. Maybe I'm not right there, but well, it looks passive to me. My gut feeling is knight h5. Probably I'm completely off. So I'm going to check it. It's not also not that I'm not super familiar with those structures, but okay, I completely missed the first move. I looked for a bit, but I didn't spot the move. Yeah, I had this feeling, but I didn't see it. The solution is this move. Okay. Yeah, safely attached to exclams. Yeah, once you see it, you kind of appreciate it. Yeah, that threatens rook b4. With the I didn't see it. I just didn't see the idea. Yeah, this is the thing. This is called positional play, this book, but how positional is that move? I mean, you need a tactical solution because probably I mean, I didn't like any of my solutions, but yeah, okay, so bishop d3. Bishop d3, I can also switch that on. Black is already better according to the engine. Bishop d3 was the game. After which knight d7. Queen e4, g6. And black was clearly better. It's probably difficult to even keep everything together. Bishop c4 is supposed to be better, which is not exactly intuitive. And then trying to make a draw here. Okay. Yeah, rook b8, that's strong. Yeah, you know, I've looked for a while. So do I have other candidate moves? But somehow I did not see that move. Not at all. It's not so difficult once you actually have the presence of mind to look for moves other than knight moves, and I did, but I still didn't see this one. Anyway, it's a good position. It's a good exercise, and it is, as we mentioned, probably not exactly easy. So I'm going to do a second position, and we have 98. Let me check if I know that position. That's again Karjakin. Okay, Karjakin Nepomniachtchi. 98. And I guess black now. Karjakin is white. So it looks again. Like a Najdorf, or very likely a Najdorf. Nepomniachtchi is a Najdorf player. It is a typical Najdorf structure. I mean, it could also be some Sveshnikov or so, but I don't think so. Okay, we have a king, and here is also a king, queen here, bishop here, knight here, and this is almost right. It is right, yeah. Okay, black to play, black. No, I didn't see it. I promise I didn't see it. Okay, so this is black to play. So first make sure that it's really correct. Yeah. So white is looking at that b5 pawn. There is some likelihood that the last move was a4. I mean, my initial impression of this position is that black should be fine, because white does not have any sufficient grip on d5, and a4, I mean, it doesn't feel extremely dangerous. If I just play like first impression, queen c6 or queen b7, takes on b5, rook a8, queen a8, I mean, that is not really a problem. One thing I just spotted though is, let's say queen b7, a takes b5, a takes b5, rook a8, queen a8, queen b5, queen takes e4, there's rook d6, queen e8 mate. But on rook d6 I have the check as well. Yeah, so just to show what I meant, I just sometimes you want to look at this like strategically, but then you see a line and you immediately look at it. Yeah, here there's a mate on the 8. Yeah, that's something that's really true, right? Didn't miss h6 or so. Yeah, but this doesn't work because of the check. But it's sometimes you just have those flashes of a line. That means there is no immediate tactical issue. What else? Most natural move is probably d5. Yeah, I'm pushing this. If he takes on b5, is there something going on? In some cases, you can also just take on a4, yeah, and then play queen b7 and d5. But okay, let's do a more general approach. Let's look at weaknesses. Yeah, b5. I mean, b5 is something to take into account for sure. D6 I've got covered, but it is a backward pawn. It's not really all that weak, but I have to watch out. White doesn't have. White has a slight. We both have slightly weak back ranks, and but other than that, white pieces, yeah, they are not really good. Yeah, the bishop on e3 is kind of a non-piece. Looks into thin air, and the knight on f3 is also not great. Or knight cannot go to d5, for example. Really difficult to imagine. So how do we play? It really doesn't look like very critical to me. If I take on a4, rook takes, I mean like this. It's this. There is this thing, so I think this makes all that much sense. Yeah, this is this is the most normal looking move. It covers this, and we're preparing d5. I would really like to somehow exploit this fork distance. e4 is a fork, but I don't see how. Those pieces look clumsy, but really not obvious how to do it. This is a twin line to queen b7. This actually threatens here. So maybe this is actually more or less forced. Yeah, here. Well, I mean, this is okay, right? I have this, and I easily cover all that. I mean, black is not worse here. Do I miss anything here? I mean, I would just probably play queen c6 or queen b7. Anything else entirely? I mean, we have to check the pieces. Wait. Just thinking if is a5 an idea for white? a5 and then like bishop to b6. It is a bit irritating. If I do this, I just play d5. Come on. Nah. I don't see any problem, really. Is there something else like that I've totally failed to miss in terms of a white idea? What can white do? Take here and try to make this work. It's super slow. I mean, I'm ready for d5. So do I miss candidate moves? Anything else there? Don't see it. I think just queen c6. Yeah, maybe I'm just too unsophisticated to see the big point. Okay, 90 position 96, and probably there will be something amazing now that I have not seen at all. Okay, 98. Okay, queen c6 is wrong. I mean, I saw the... I don't... Okay, let's see. Let's see. So queen c6 is what I wanted to do. It is the move that Nepomniachtchi played. It's, yeah. And he, Orgard says this is wrong. Let us just see why. So exactly this line. And then he says knight e1 with knight c2 to come, and white is obviously better. Yeah, well, really? Maybe. I mean, I saw the idea. Yeah, no, yeah, okay. If I go d, I cannot really play d5 is the thing. Yeah, then yeah, that is probably an issue. Even though engine just plays d4. And queen a4 also doesn't seem like nothing much. Yeah, Orgard calls an obvious positional advantage. That's maybe, I mean, I completely understand his point, because it's definitely annoying, even though the engine is not super convinced. This queen a4. Yeah. This is nagging. Yeah. Karjakin, by the way, also didn't understand it. He played h4 here, and then nothing much happened. Oh no, white retains slight advantage. Orgard says. Yeah. Okay. So, in fact, in this is what should be played, and now. Takes, rook takes, queen c6. Queen c6. What does he give? Now Orgard gives queen c2. The computer wants to play rook a5, and black's position is crap. Which looks pretty obvious, actually. Why should white play this move? That doesn't make any sense. And then I go d5. Yeah, rook a5, obviously. That's strange. I just cannot play this move. That is not convincing, sorry. That's not convincing. This is not necessarily any better. d5 is given by the engine here, which is extremely direct. Yeah, that wins. So if white cannot take on a6, then black is fine here. Yeah, this is the most convincing thing probably. Yeah, I understand that my indeed somewhat superficial move here, that this is a bit worse. Yeah, I understand that. Knight e1, even though the engine still wants to do this. Bishop c5. Yeah, well, we had this. Yeah. Yeah, this is a nagging edge. It really is a nagging edge. So the best is actually not the book line. I mean, this is actually pretty clearly not good. Instead, d5 is what should be played. Which is, I mean, it's easy with the computer, of course. And the book is a couple of years old. I don't know, they checked things with engines, but it's... And here I'm reasonably sure that the computer is perfectly correct, yeah, because it's open this position and there's no... You sometimes have the engine seeing problems with fortresses or specific endgame types. Here probably it sees some complete liquidation into nothingness. So that was difficult, yeah. The first two exercises in the video last week were a lot more accommodating for me, but it's interesting to explore. Very difficult stuff. As I always say, those books are great, but you need to have a high tolerance level for failure, your own failure. Okay, guys.